Hey, I don't know how you stumbled onto this video, but I'm glad that you did. Before I get into it, let me just talk about the reason why I started this channel and why this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. The reason why I started this channel is because I pretty much don't have anything else to do with everything that's going on in the world and the lockdown. This is something I've always wanted to do, but I'm like, I don't have time, da da da. But guess what?
Today I got time, cuz.
So I figured if I'm going to do this, why not start with something I love, something a movie that influenced me to this day. I've watched I don't know how many times already. Yeah, let's get into it. This opening scene introduces us to our main characters, and it just shows how they're living large, living like the bravado, that like the insane amount of money they got on them. And one thing that always stood out to me in this scene was Cam, and who's playing in this movie, he's playing the character Rico. And if you're a hip hop fan and you know who Cam is, what Rico says he does in the scene is like something Cam would do in real life. You know what I mean? So like, I always when I watch this movie every time, I'm like, so when does Rico stop and Cam start? Like, it's the same person, like on camera, off camera. It's the same dude.
I walk up to the table, right? Pick up the cake, mush it in his face, tell him happy birthday. I saw that nigga mad love, B.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, or the next character, there's no real structure to this. I'm just like going with it. You know what I'm saying? So, but the next thing I did want to talk about is the character Mitch, played by my man Mekhi Phife, who's a legend in this game. One of my favorite actors. He's been doing this for years. And in this movie, he's playing Mitch. Mitch is the guy in the neighborhood that everybody wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the guy that got the money, he got the nice cars, he got the girls that chasing him, he got the waves making everybody sick. All right, in this movie he ain't got no waves, but you know what I mean. But Mitch is that dude in the hood that like every guy wanted to be. Like the ladies loved him, the dudes wanted to be him. Some of them hated on him. But in this movie, again, Mitch played by Mekhi Phife he's a very interesting character that I'm gonna delve into him a bit more a little bit later in this video. Oh, and just for clarification, I know his full name is Mekhi Phifer, but I call him Mekhi Phife. Um, I've called him that since a Cam verse from a song. It goes something like first movie worked out Mekhi Phife, and ever since then he's been Mekhi Phife to me. I can't remember the name of that song. If anyone does, just drop it in the comments so I can go back and listen to that joint.
Oh, this me. Yeah, you right, man. Making money is me, man.
Okay, so the next character I want to get into is Ace, played by another legend in the game, Wood Harris. He's been in so much through the years. Creed movies, Remember the Titans, and of course one of my favorite all-time shows, The Wire. He was Avon Barksdale in that. I love that show. I'd love to do another analysis like this one on that someday. If y'all want to see something like that, let me know. But in this movie, he plays Ace, and out of all the characters in this film, I've always felt like I related most to Ace. And you look at he seems like a normal dude who's just growing up trying to live his life. But if you see his situation, it wasn't that great. He hated his job, and he starts, selling that rock. You look at the relationship with his mother and everything. I just always kind of saw a lot of myself in that character.
But I wasn't trying to keep shit all to myself. See, I wasn't trying to get on the stage, and I didn't want people hating. I put people on, understand? Streets was happy. Everybody could eat. Yeah, Dylan was alright.
One of the next things I want to talk about was kind of what I feel like is an underlying theme in this movie, and that's choice. Each of the characters, they're choosing to do what they want to do. They're choosing to be in the game when they don't necessarily have to. It's great. It's easy. It's a great way to make a lot of money quick, but at the same time, you look at the money they made, the lives they left, and like when you look at the whole totality of everything, you think to yourself, was it really worth it? Especially when you look at what happened to Mitch, the movie's based on real life events, and In the movie, you see Mitch. In real life, it was Rich Porter, and he was killed, and so was his little brother. And you look at also what happened with Ace, and he was shot by, of all people, somebody he knew. Oh my God, this dude Calvin. I'm gonna get into him a little bit later, but what I'm trying to say is like the choices we make, like there's cause and effect in everything. And if you look at like the choices they made throughout the movie, it all was mostly negative. Like they had great moments where they had like cars and all that shit and money, but when you think about it, when you look at how it all winds up, was it really worth it? And some people say, yeah, I'd rather like live that fast life, but it's just that it's a fast life. Like the shelf life on this shit is not a long time. You know what I mean? So is it really worth it? And I guess that's something you have to decide for yourself. You know what I mean? Let me go back to Mitch again and what happened with him and his little brother, which is like a crazy example. I couldn't imagine something like that happening. But if you look at it and like you look at Mitch, can you imagine him like doing anything else? Like, you know, I can't imagine him flipping burgers. Like the game kind of, it's how he sees himself. It's how he normalizes his world, and it's what gives him pride. You know, being a drug dealer gave him tons of pride and recognition, which I think he was in love with more than the money. He seemed to like the notoriety, like everybody know who he is, everybody think he's man. He was in love with that more than I think the money even.
Hey, yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga. You tough, right?
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is the part where after Ace gets shot, spoiler, I already told you that, after Ace gets shot, he's in the living room with Mitch, and they're talking about how he wants to kind of get out, but Mitch just goes on this amazing monologue by Mekhi Phifer, talking about how he loves the game, and if he left the game, would the fans still love him? It's like right there, it tells you so much about the dude and how he sees the game and how he loves the notoriety he gets from it.
But see, man, a nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird, Magic, or something. Yeah, you know a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
All right. Next thing I want to talk about, or character I want to talk about, is Calvin, played by Kevin Carroll, who's another great actor. Currently, he's on Snowfall, the FX show. He plays Franklin's dad, but I mostly remember him from Paper Soldiers, another movie with Kevin Hart. It's a really funny movie. I don't know if y'all seen it. Check it out, though, and I'd love to talk about that movie in the future, too. But as far as his role in Paid in Full, he plays Calvin, and Calvin, every time I see this movie, I just think about that character in particular and like what he does, and it's just kind of surprising, you know what I mean? Everything that Ace tried to do for him, put him back on the scene, put money in his pocket, it just seemed like it wasn't enough, you know. It just always made me think like greed it overpowers everything, you know what I mean? No matter how much you do for a person, like they're gonna want more. Like how much can you put on a man's plate before he like literally just snatches that plate and tries to fucking kill you with it, you know? So every time I see the movie, I just think about that character and how it applies in real life, and how avoiding people like that kind of is impossible. Because with Calvin, it was all good until it wasn't. You know what I mean? they kind of had this, like, they did have like a bit of a relationship, and then all of a sudden, like, when things wasn't going Calvin's way, and he didn't like what he was getting from Ace, he puts the guns in and set this dude up and puts a gun in his face, tries to get him killed. It's like a cautionary tale, you know? Like, even to this day, like, I always am perplexed by that character, and because of that, I've always been like weary of the people I associate with. You know what I mean? It's like, to trust is a hard thing. You can't trust nobody nowadays unless like you're in a super tight circle. But yeah, that's how I kind of look at the Calvin character in this movie.
All right, well, why don't you keep the change? Now, you know what? Fuck that. Give it to my man Ace Boogie. All right, he's family, right, babe?
10 niggas jumped the nigga, fam. 10 niggas pounded him out, stomped the shit out of this nigga, man. And then this other Panamanian type of dude, I don't even know. He had like 10 razors in his ass, man. He takes it out his ass. He give a nigga a $150 across his face, man. Blood everywhere, shit gushing. CO's not even coming, letting the whole shit go down, man. What's up with your peoples, man?
Hey, but yo,
Yeah.
what was the Puerto Rican kid name?
Chico, some Miko, some shit. If he from the east side, man, you know me, Pop, even Willie's, man. Selling coke, always fucking with the bitches. He think he a pretty nigga. You know that nigga, man. You know what I mean? Sell a lot of coke, man. He sell coke.
Yo, when you get out, man?
Shit, man, I don't even know, man. We gonna keep that on the low, cause I ain't see you, you ain't see me, all right, Ace? All right, you stay cool like how you be cool, all right?
No doubt, baby.
All right, water.
I love that scene with Nori. Anyway, let me start to wrap this up. Again, this movie means a lot to me. I felt like I learned a lot about life and just qualities of good and bad people from it. Again, this is probably the most unprofessional video on YouTube, but I don't know. It's something like I said in the beginning of the video. I've wanted to do something like this for a long time. I've wanted to talk about movies that impacted me, that convinced me to get into the industry and make my own stuff, and But my message to you, if you watch this whole video through, thank you. Let me know if you want me to do more stuff like this with different movies, especially like these movies like Paid in Full, and a lot of movies out there that's for like the hip hop community and just for us in general that never really get talked about too much. I'd love to talk about these types of movies, as well as mainstream stuff as well. Again, I have a lot of different influences that have kind of shaped who I am as far as like film and television. But my message to you is thank you for watching this whole thing through, and if you have something that you want to do, now's the time to do it. Like, with the world and everything, and COVID like scaring the shit out of everybody, and now's the time to do it. Like, to stop wasting time, stop procrastinating. Do what you want to do. If you want to make music, if you want to write a book, if you want to start a podcast, if you want to do film analysis videos like this one, do it. Like, do it now. Ain't no excuses. Do it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be putting out more stuff like this. I'd love to do another one on Paid in Full, because there's like so much I feel like I didn't talk about. I wanted to talk about what happened with Mitch and Rico, that betrayal, and I wanted to get into that more, but I felt like this video was starting to drag a little long. But I'd love to do a part 2 of this one day. Let me know if that's something you want to see. Thank you for watching this all the way through. And again, like, now's the time to do it. Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing what you want to do. Do it. Like, no excuses. Just do that shit. Thank you.